Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Hello, this is Hal Coleman, the Pest Control Marketer, here with another episode of Pest Control Marketing Live. I'm here with my partner, my mentor, my business partner. I don't mean my partner. I'm married. I mean my business partner.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
And my friend for over 40 years, better known as Mr. Online, Mike Stewart. How are you, sir?
I'm great, sir. And I'm excited. You know, one of the things that just happened today is a fellow from New Jersey called me and said, I've been listening to your podcast and I love and trust what you guys have to say. And it's helped me so much. So, you know, one of the reasons we do this as a service to business owners, because when we give back to the world and help them know how to grow their business, great things work for everybody. And so I'm tickled to hear what you want to talk about today to help that PCO or that WCO out there grow their business.
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is the best laid plans of mice and men. You know, you're doing something great, and then something comes along and knocks you down, and you don't worry about it. You don't fret over it. You just, because there's nothing you can do about it, you just keep going. And an example of that is, back a few minutes ago, you and I were doing a podcast. We were doing a great podcast, and I had some stories, and I was just on a roll, and we got into it, and about 15 minutes later, you said, Hal, stop. And I said, what is it? You said, I forgot to push the record button.
Yeah. Why don't you call me out here?
I could have just let out a string of expletives.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just thought we do stuff like that. I've done that before. Sometimes we have a plan and it doesn't work out right, and we just say, well, good. That was a practice when we're going to do it better this time. So I'm going to kind of pick up where I was telling you a story about a guy that I played golf with.
Okay.
A while back. Friend of mine, and I've known him for many years, but we've only played golf once before, and that was about 15 years ago. But he's a much better golfer than I am. He talks about his golf games and his scores, and he plays tons more than I do through the years. And I don't play that often, but we had a chance to play golf together, and he was telling me that his golf game had just gone to hell in a handbasket. He said, I'm at the point where I just want to quit playing golf. I'm thinking about selling my club and just quitting playing. I said, well, golly, it can't be that bad. Well, we played a couple of weeks ago, and it was that bad. I felt sorry for him. I mean, he couldn't do anything right. He couldn't hit the ball down the fairway. I don't know how many golf balls he lost. He was chili dipping it, topping it, couldn't get out of the sand traps. And he was very frustrated. He got in a bad mood. And I've talked to him for years about taking a few golf lessons. He's on probably his fifth set of golf clubs. You know, when he's doing bad, he thinks the solution is to go buy a new club. If he can't hit this club, you know, then he goes and buys a new club or a new set of the latest technology. And I played golf with a guy one day, and I was telling him I was thinking about buying a new set of golf clubs because mine were old technology. They were old clubs. And even though I took a golf lesson and my golf instructor picked up one of my clubs and hit it about a half a mile straight as a rope, you know. And I told this guy, I said, yeah, I'm thinking about getting me a new set of clubs. He said, well, Hal, he said, let me tell you something. He said, when I was growing up, my dad was a golf pro at the country club. And he said, so I grew up playing golf with my dad being a golf instructor. My dad would tell you that if you want your game to get better, take the money that you were going to spend on a new set of golf clubs and spend that money on golf lessons. He said, because a golf pro will show you things that you have no clue about in your swing, and show you how to make little adjustments and get your game better. So I did that, and I've probably taken a half a dozen or more golf lessons over the last 10 years. That's not many, but every one of them helped me and got me to the point where I am now. I can hit it straight down the fairway. It didn't go far, but I'm not embarrassed to play golf with anybody. But this guy that I played with is one of these kind of guys that is so stubborn about wanting to figure things out and not asking for help. He looks at it as crying out for help because I can't make it on my own and I'm too dumb and I'm too stupid to be able to do this. Why would I admit that to anybody by asking for help? And I said, when you're out here playing as bad as you are, you're simply reinforcing the bad behavior. And the more you play, the worse you get. And the worse you get, the more you want to play and get better, but you don't know how to get better. He said, well, I said, a golf instructor will video you and then show you, with little graphs and everything. And he'll come over there and move your hands to the right. I said, he said, my golfing buddies do that for me when we're playing. I said, well, are they 100 times better than you are, or are they about as good as you are? He said, well, they're about like me. I said, well, if you do exactly what they tell you to do, you'll be exactly as good as they are. I said, you can't listen to your golfing buddies while you're out on the course unless your golfing buddies are golf pros, professional coaches. I said, because you're just, I felt like I was trying to help him. At the same time, I was just talking to a fence post because I don't think he'll ever get a golf lesson. He may get frustrated and quit golf, or he'll have nightmares over the way he's playing from now on. But that same thing pertains to so many business people, just like golfers, that I know right now. I see them I talk to them on the phone, and I meet with them on Skype sometimes to talk about coaching, not just with me or with you, but anybody. I said, look, you need help. You don't know what you don't know about growing your business. You don't know what you don't know about selling. And so the point I just want to leave with everybody today is, if your business is not where you want it to be right now, or it's not headed in the direction that you want it to go right now, or it's not moving as fast as you want it to go right now, if you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep moving in the same direction at the same speed. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to get different results. So, if you want things to change, you've got to find somebody who can show you the correct way to change them. They've got to show you the combination to the safe. And even though you have the combination to the safe, if you don't know how to work a combination lock, you'll never get the door open. Mm-hmm. So there's so much that you and I spend all of our time talking to small businesses, pest control operators and wildlife control operators who are stuck. Their business is not growing, or maybe it's shrinking now, or it's not growing very fast at all. And we just, here's why. We look at it, we examine it, we put it under the microscope, we do the CAT scan and the MRI and the X-ray of your business, and it's obvious why your business is not growing. And these are the things that you need to do. And it's up to you whether you do them or not. But simply by spending money on equipment and, you're going to be like the guy that just wants to buy new golf clubs and become a better golfer. There's better ways to spend your money. We talk to people every day. And then I'll shut up and let you talk, Mike. But we talk to people every day who are spending a fortune on SEO. And it's just like buying those golf clubs. They're not getting anywhere. They're not getting any business. The phone's not ringing. And the answer to them is to spend more. on the same thing. I'm just not spending enough on SEO. My God, I'm spending $4,000 a month, but I need to spend $6,000 a month. Well, if you're not getting anything, why would you want to spend more? So my point is, you got to take action, and you need to find somebody can help you and not be afraid to ask or ashamed to ask or whatever. Talk to them, find somebody that can show you the things that you don't know, because you have not a clue what you don't know. And I'll shut up, Mike, and let you pick it up and run with it there.
Well, you inspire me to remember a lot of things that I remember. I was very fortunate for many, many years. And to this day, I have a whole world of folks that were like the golf pros you talk about. It doesn't matter whether it's golf or internet marketing or advertising or the list goes on and on. The subject matter it's the same principles for everything. And I think one of the things that egos do are people don't want to admit they need help. In other words, I don't, my mother would never go to a psychiatrist. That was admitting you had a problem, or going to a counselor. There's things that they have years of experience and they've been through it, that they know the things that have worked in the past very much could work for you. And you don't know those things. So we used to, what I got to do is I got to hear a lot of little things that got recorded in my brain. I heard from the stage, every successful business person, from Richard Branson to Jeff Bezos to Bill Gates to Steve Jobs, they all had mentors. They all consulted people that they knew would give them good advice. They would mentor each other in mastermind groups. I mean, that was something that was attractive to me. Hearing that term, masterminding, getting together with other smart people, getting a different perspective on things that, I could look at it 1,000 times and they look at it once and point out, well, don't you see there's something different there that you're missing? And you go, aha, you pointed that out to me. I've looked at that thing 100 times and didn't see it. So some of the things that I've heard over the years, little quotes that you can remember, is that you're an average of your 5 closest friends. If your 5 closest friends are broke and complaining and not working and not succeeding and not growing, you're going to be the average of those 5 people.
That's right.
So another one I used to hear on the stage all the time, if you want to soar with eagles, you can't hang with turkeys.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But me, I'd rather hang with the turkeys, because turkey season.
No, now that's different.
I'm counting the days now,
O'Neill is a eagle turkey shooter, and you hang with O'Neill. So that's just because you shoot real. I'm talking about the perceptives, and the old thing. Einstein said, doing the same thing over, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. And John Reese, who was a mentor of mine, John is a multimillionaire internet marketer. I dare you to Google John Reese $1 Million Day. John Reese is the first of our colleagues in 2004 or 5 to make $1 million in a day as an individual.
I remember that.
And he used to say, real simple little thing, and I'm going to throw this up on the screen for the people watching this. 1,000 little things make the difference. One thing he said, if it's not working, stop. If it is working, do more of it. And it's kind of like you're saying, okay, if SEO guys hear me, they want to defend their world. They want to say that, if you just spend more money with me, it's going to work. Well, of course they don't want to. Had a little interruption there. Any rate, if you don't want to
spend money with SEO,
spend money more, and that's doing the same things, expecting different results. If it doesn't work, quit it immediately and try something different. And one of the things I hear from people is they don't know what to do different. Well, that's what my 20 years experience in the online world, your 40 probably plus years experience in the offline world or for 30 years owning a pest control agency, you know how to deal with hiring employees. You know the shortcuts, and you know the pitfalls, and we used to call them the landmines. If the way to get through a minefield is know where the landmines are. If you don't know where they are, you step on them and they blow up in your face and they create havoc and hell. And I see havoc and hell with our coaching clients all the time. I mean, I'm spending $5,000 a month on SEO, and I hadn't had one call. Well, then why you keep spending $5,000 a month on that? Well, the guy says that, we're ranking really high. Well, great. Is the phone ringing with paying business? Well, no. Well, then who cares whether you're ranking high or not? Let's look and see what the problem is. Well, guess what? People are finding a page that says lemonade for 50 cents. It doesn't say, you got a problem, I got the solution, call me. Response triggers. Yep. There's 1,000 little things that it takes years to know how to recognize them. And that's one of the things that a mentor does. That's one of the things that we do for our clients. And I just want to say that, one, when you don't know how to do something, it's not weakness to reach out for help.
Yeah, we one of the things that I hear from my coaching clients probably more than anything else is we'll be in a session and they'll tell me about a problem they're having with selling or marketing and I'll say, well, here's what you might want to do. And I'll tell them, and they say, I never would have thought of that. I never would have thought of that in a million years.
Right. That's a little thing.
They go do it, and it works. And they say it was so simple and so logical, but I would have just never thought of it. I said, well, that's why you pay me the big bucks, is to tell you so you don't have to try to think of it.
Yeah. And we've actually had people in the past that say, I don't want to do that. And I go, well, that's okay. But if you don't do it, I can guarantee the results. If you don't do what I tell you to do, I can guarantee you that what I tell you won't work because you won't do it.
Yeah.
But what I can't guarantee you is if you do it well, how well it'll work. And it's not like, I wish I could take credit for all the things I've learned, but I can name people that, like Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham and J. Conrad Levinson and Armin Morin and Alex Mandossian. These names may mean nothing to you, but these are rock stars in direct response marketing. And I've been to probably over 100 conferences where I got to hear these people speak. And I sat there with a composition book or an iPad or a computer, and I took notes. And I said, you know what? Those guys are successful. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. And that's how I got mentored. Everything you've ever heard me say, they probably said it first. I can't take credit for creating it. In fact, if I'll tell you something, I challenge people to do this. Download Scientific Advertising. Well, it's a book written over 120 years ago. And every one of my mentors said that is the document that laid the foundation for the internet success.
Yep.
And I'll guarantee you, ask yourself right now, have you ever heard of Scientific Advertising? Have you ever heard of Claude Hopkins? Have you ever read the book? And if the answer is no, you just missed gold. You just missed a piece of nugget of gold that makes a difference in people's businesses. And then I'll go back and I say, hey, did you ever download that book? It's free on the internet. No. Well, if you didn't download it, you sure as heck can't read it.
Yep. You got to do the stuff.
Think and Grow Rich, The Strangest Secret, Acre of Diamonds. You know where I heard about all those pieces of wisdom? From my mentors, like the people I named to you. And so I brought that knowledge to my customers, and, we have testimonials out the wazoo that people say, it makes a difference. So that's why we do this podcast. We want people to know that there is two paths, a path to success and a path to frustration. Now, which path do you want to take?
I hope, success, and you and I practice what we preach. Several years ago, I had a coach, paid him a fortune, a coach for a year, met with him twice a month to to help me build a better coaching program and deliver more value to my clients. So I practice what I preach. You do too. You and I have been mentored by some of the best people. And, I read, I think when I wrote my book, How to Build a Pest Control Business.com, if you look in the back, you'll see, I don't know how many books it is in there. I don't know, 100 books. I'm not sure how many is in there, but those are just some of the books that I read to develop that knowledge and that expertise. It's not like I just come up with this stuff off the top of my head. I wish I could do it, but
no.
I was born knowing absolutely zero.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I've learned either from someone else or through trial and error. And that's a good thing about coaching with people that coach you, whether it's baseball or football or bodybuilding or golf or business coaching or life coaching or marriage and relationship coaching, parenting coaching, whatever. And I know there are exceptions because there are exceptions to everything. Okay. So somebody say, well, I had a coach one time and didn't do me a bit of good. Well, like anything else, always before you hire a coach or before you build a deck on the side of your house or before you hire a new mechanic or before you go to a new dentist, check them out.
Do your due diligence.
Talk to their customers. And I had there's a comedian that you and I are familiar with named Milton Crabapple. And I heard Milton Crabapple, his deputy, Dude Crabapple, his third cousin. He said, Dude lost all of his life savings. He was reading in one of those detective magazines, and he found some land for sale up in the North Georgia mountains. And he took all his savings out and sent it to these people to buy that property. And then he never heard from them again. Called the number and had been disconnected and found out that the property wasn't even for sale. And I said, well, did you not check this out before you sent the money? No. Did you call the Better Business Bureau and check out this business before you sent them the money? And he said, no. I said, why not? He said, well, I was afraid they'd tell me not to do it. So some people get a direction set in their mind. They don't want anybody telling them not to do it.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, they're committed to it. So don't tell me not to do what I'm doing. But Mike,
well, I'm gonna leave with this. We tell people that we work with people. In fact, I had a call today. You had a call today. And one of the things that we do is we give a lot of content away free because we're firm believers in content relationship building. Some people call it content marketing. I call it content relationship building. And with no expectations, go to howtogrowapestcontrolbusiness.com. Put your name in. All it costs you for a free access to that book is your name and your email address. And yes, Hal will email you, and Hal will tell you about our live stream and our podcast. And one of the things that Hal will tell you about, and I'm going to tell you about right now, is if you go to pestcontrolmarketer.com or you call Hal at 770-993-0004, he will give you an hour of his time. He's going to give you an hour of his time, which he charges really good money for that hour of time. But he's willing that if you'll make the effort to say you're interested in learning more, he's willing to invest an hour in you. And you can email him, Hal at halcoleman.com. That's real easy to remember. And Hal, I do the same thing. If you want to learn more about what I do in the online world, MikeStewart.live has links to all the different things that I do. And my phone number is 770-826-3662. Like I said, I had a guy call me today, and he was like, "Oh my God, Mike, I'm so honored you picked up the phone." And I said, "Well, it rang."
You can't talk if you don't pick it up.
It rang, and I have it with me all the time. So I want to talk to you if you really are serious. If you're not serious, don't call. We're not begging you to call. We're saying, are you serious? If you're serious, then, maybe the advice you're getting, I don't know how many times people, pay big money for bad advice. And I'm very adamant, and so is Hal. If we think it's bad advice, I don't care if your web guy hates my guts. I really don't care. As long as he don't come here and hurt me and my family, he can hate me all he wants to. A buddy of mine years ago said, love me, hate me. There's nothing in the middle that I care about. Yeah. I don't want to be milquetoast.
You want to stand out.
All right. And so let me tell you something else here, and then you wind this up here. One of the ways people work with us if they're on a shoestring budget is joining our group coaching at Pest Control Marketing Gold. In other words, if you want to get the gold, you got to know pestcontrolmarketinggold.com. And if you get Hal's free book, there's a bonus that people who get the free book at howtogrowapestcontrolbusiness.com then get on that membership site. And let me tell you something else about that membership site, group coaching. It's a great way to get, there's nothing replaces one-on-one coaching, but there's something about having a regular meeting every month that will help people get to the next level. And speaking of next level, we do an annual event. Now, we used to do this event in Atlanta, but because of the pandemic, this year in February, we're going to be doing the next level PCO, Pest Control Operator Marketing.com. That is a library of gold, and it is a amazing one-day event where we have speakers and what's new and what's, our projection of what to do for the new year. And you can buy that. But guess what? If you become a coaching club member, you're going to have free access, a $200 value to that event in February. So check all these URLs out. Pest Control Marketing Gold, Next Level PCO Marketing. But call Hal at 770-993-0004 or me at 770-826-3662. So that's all I got for today, Hal.
Let me make sure they got it straight. If you join pestcontrolmarketinggold.com, the group, you're going to get a month free to decide whether you like it or not. And I think it's what, $47 a month if you like it.
Right.
You can cancel it anytime. If you don't like it, you get a free month to check it out to see whether you want to buy it or not.
Right.
And if you do join it, you're going to get free access to our one-day workshop in February.
Right.
Which is $200. So check it out. You have nothing to lose.
Well,
maybe now is your time if you go and you don't like it. But anyway, we have a lot of stuff free, and we want to help you. So we're going to wrap this one up, and I want to thank you for hanging with us and listening to this episode of Pest Control Marketing Live and the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. This is Hal Coleman and Mike Stewart, and we'll see you next time.
Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.